That night, more than 50 soldiers of Burkina Faso fell. The enemy sought to turn that loss into a blade of division to watch the nation collapse in despair. But instead of mourning cries, the land heard the thunder rising from the heart of its leader. While many expected a sorrowful eulogy, President Ibrahim Traoré stepped forward as a warrior. He did not speak of weakness, he spoke of strength. He did not beg for protection, he declared self-reliance. He did not kneel before grief, he commanded the nation to rise from the ashes. It was within this contrast, between death and the will to live, between loss and faith, that a new spirit was born. The people did not only weep for their fallen sons, they stood together clapping, chanting Traoré's name. The enemy had sown tragedy, but Burkina Faso harvested dignity. That is the unbreakable strength of a nation. Brothers and sisters, if you feel the fire of patriotism burning in your heart, if you believe Africa has the right to stand tall, type yes in the comments below. Every yes is a heartbeat of national pride, a vow that we shall never kneel. And don't forget to subscribe to Make Africa Great Together so we can build a powerful community where our voices echo. Ibrahim Traoré knew this truth. If Burkina Faso entered conventional warfare, the nation would be drained. Tanks, jets, heavy weapons, all far beyond reach. But instead of bowing to weakness, he turned scarcity into strength. He called upon engineers, students, mechanics, even farmers, once familiar only with plows and tractors, in abandoned warehouses, on old airstrips and garages that once stored farming tools. An unprecedented mission of creativity began. From scrap metal, old spare parts, and quietly imported circuits, they built the first drones. These were not just weapons. They were symbols. Each spinning propeller declared Burkina Faso can stand on its own. Burkina Faso can defend itself. The people did not see crude machines. They saw dignity. Those drones became the new wings of freedom, proof of a spirit that says, we may be poor, but we are not weak. We may be small, but we will never kneel. Traoré did not choose the path of begging from global powers. He chose cooperation. He opened channels with Wagner networks, and soon Russian instructors set foot in Burkina Faso. They did not come to rule. They did not come to dictate. They came to train to share combat knowledge, to help a nation stand on its own. Immediately, the West reacted with fury. France condemned the United States, voiced grave concern. International organizations warned of the militarization of aid. But while outside voices shouted inside the nation, the people erupted with faith. From Ouagadougou to distant villages, everyone raised flags high, chanting Traoré's name. They did not chant because they wanted war. They chanted because for the first time they saw a leader refusing to kneel. For the people, the presence of Russian instructors was not a symbol of dependence, but proof that Burkina Faso was choosing allies on its own terms. And the questions echoed in every heart. If we do not choose our own path, who will choose it for us? If we do not stand tall today, will we ever have the chance to rise tomorrow? In that moment, every outside voice faded into silence. What remained was the sound echoing across the nation, the sound of a united people standing proudly with their leader. The death of more than 50 soldiers was not just Burkina Faso's wound. It was a blade driven into the heart of all Africa. Ibrahim Traoré refused to call it a loss for his country alone. He declared, "This is an attack on all of us, on the dignity of an entire continent." And from that moment, a question thundered in every heart. How much longer will we rely on foreign troops to guard our borders, or will we rise to defend ourselves? Small acts suddenly became a mighty force. Farmers donated every drop of fuel for test engines. Mechanics worked sleepless nights trading labor for food and shelter. Young engineers taught themselves coding to program drone flight paths. Mothers and wives carried meals to soldiers in training. Children drew drones in the sand, seeing them as the new wings of freedom. In grief, an unprecedented unity was born. No one cared about the divide between city and village, rich and poor. Everyone became part of the same mission. The people together built a movement, a war fought not only with bullets, but with will, with intellect, with hands and hearts. Burkina Faso became a mirror. From Bamako to Niamey, from Conakry to Dakar, people began to ask one another, if Burkina Faso can stand tall in the storm, why can't our nations do the same? The tragedy sown by the enemy Traoré had transformed into seeds of unity, and those seeds began to sprout across the continent. The West could not stay silent in the face of Burkina Faso's defiance. They unleashed their familiar weapons: economic sanctions, aid cuts, frozen bank accounts, blocked trade. French media called Traoré reckless. American analysts warned of a new global threat. They wanted to force Burkina Faso into submission through hunger and empty pockets. But they underestimated the power. The flame from Burkina Faso did not stop at its borders. It spread, igniting resistance across Africa. In Mali, Niger, Guinea, everyone marched with banners reading "Traoré has awakened Africa" in Lagos, Dakar, and even Johannesburg. The people sang songs of freedom, seeing Burkina Faso as the torch lighting the way for the continent. The West saw only danger. They said Traoré is reckless, dragging the region into chaos. But Africans saw something else. They saw dignity restored. They saw hope return. They saw, for the first time in decades, a leader willing to tie his nation's survival to true independence. On the walls, children painted drones, flying over fields of rice, onions, and maize, protecting both harvests and freedom. In the markets, women sang, "We will feed ourselves. We will feed our children." In the squares, young men raised their fists, shouting, "We will never kneel." And again, the question thundered, if Burkina Faso can turn tragedy into strength, why can't Africa turn submission into freedom? Brothers and sisters, this is not just the story of one nation. It is a call to everyone across the continent. If you believe Africa deserves to stand tall, type "yes" in the comments and subscribe to Make Africa Great Together, so this voice echoes across the world. Burkina Faso has walked through blood and tears, yet it did not fall. Instead, this small nation became the center of the world's attention. The ambush that killed 50 soldiers was no longer just sorrow. It had become a symbol, a fire that lit the entire continent. Ibrahim Traoré stood high, not alone.
My dear brothers and sisters, fellow patriots, our country has long been trapped in a deeply complicated system. Many of us, especially the youth, were born into this reality, but let me be clear. This system is not one that will allow Burkina Faso to thrive. Today we face only two options. Either we rise up and fight, or we remain enslaved forever. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are those whose minds are already enslaved. They can only serve their masters, and they work tirelessly to manipulate and discourage you. But I urge you, stand firm, advise one another, and remain united. Every situation we face is an opportunity for our enemies to try to weaken our spirit, to demoralize our will. Don't fall into their trap. Don't let their words or their media shake your purpose. Not everyone will love their country, but you do. You are the true patriots. You have chosen to defend this land, and there is no calling more noble. Let those who support you stand by you. And those who try to tear you down, close your ears and move forward. We will deal with them right here. Now listen carefully. There is a so-called NGO that claims our brave defense and security forces, our FDS, and our heroic VDP are committing abuses. These are false accusations designed to break your morale and stop you from fighting for your country. But it will not work. In fact, we are preparing to take legal action against this organization. Enough is enough. People need to understand what's really going on. Yes, our people in the Sahel have been misled. But where did these powerful weapons come from? From Libya. And who destroyed Libya? The same foreign powers and NGOs who created lies, false reports that justified war. That same NGO helped open the floodgates of chaos into the Sahel, and now they want to come back and accuse us. They have no right to lecture us on morality. Let them clean up the injustices in their own countries before daring to speak to us. You see, they still see us as subhuman, as slaves. That mindset has never changed, but we must prove them wrong. We are not slaves, and we will never accept this state of submission. So I say to you, ignore their lies. Stay focused on your mission. We know what we're doing, and we are doing it for ourselves, for our homeland, not to please anyone outside. Even now, our VDP leaders are undergoing human rights training. We are making every effort, not because we are forced to, but because we want a better future for our people. And history is on our side. During the Second World War, there was a country that couldn't defend itself. It had to come and take our ancestors to fight and die on their behalf. Now that same country wants to give us lessons. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. You are the descendants of those brave warriors who helped liberate the world from tyranny. And now you are standing up to defend your own land. But those same forces want to tarnish your image. They invent terms, push propaganda, and try to break your will. We say never. We will never accept that. This fight, this war, is not just about territory. It's about our freedom. It's about our independence. It's about protecting the riches of our land, our gold, our minerals, our future. Why do they want to displace entire villages? Because they want what we have. But we will not give in. We will reclaim our lands. We will protect what is ours for ourselves, for our children, for generations to come. So I say this to you with all my heart. Be strong. Keep your spirit high. Do not let the manipulators win. Do not listen to those who have forgotten the meaning of patriotism. And do not be deceived by foreign voices who seek to enslave us again with new tools and new names. Stand firm. Fight with everything you have. Draw from your heritage, from your values, from your culture, from the wisdom of our villages. This is a just war, a war for our dignity, for our land, for our people. Stay focused, stay strong, keep moving forward, and never forget we are not slaves. We are the defenders of Burkina Faso. Thank you.